Hello, and welcome to another episode of Fleet Momentum, brought to you by Automotive Fleet. This episode is sponsored by and produced in partnership with Chevin Fleet Solutions. But before we get into today's episode, remember to follow and connect with us on social media. Be sure to subscribe to the Automotive Fleet YouTube channel so you don't miss future episodes of Fleet Momentum. In this episode, we'll be speaking with Will Wycks, Senior Vice President of Product and Marketing for Chevin Fleet Solutions. Will and I will be tackling how fleets are facing today's pressures surrounding rightsizing, managing supply chains and part shortages in electric vehicles, and how a data-driven approach is needed to tackle all these problems. Well, welcome, Will.
Hi, Chris. Great to be here.
Well, Will, first tell us a little bit more about Chevin Fleet Solutions.
Sure. So Chevin are a global provider of fleet management software. We've been doing this for over 30 years, so got great heritage and experience. It's fleet management end to end. So we bring and consolidate data from the whole supply chain and try and simplify that information as much as possible.
Great. Well, you talk about data, right? And that's what we're really going to be talking about today. And certainly we've heard the term fire hose of data, and fleet managers kind of get inundated with data. What are some of the ways that fleet managers can get control over their data, really to help mitigate some of the pressures that are facing fleets today?
Yeah, of course. Well, look, when it comes to technology, the pace of change in this industry is astonishing. The quantity of data can be overwhelming, and that's where providers like ourselves really come into our own in terms of trying to consolidate that information and to simplify it. So it's all about visualization. It's the key thing for our customers. Time is money. You need to answer the decisions very, very quickly, and it can be around compliance as well. So it can be a matter of safety and concern for the whole operation. So having a central repository of information is key. Do you have one source of data and one source of the truth? And that's what we always start with. So to manage costs and to be compliant, it's about consolidating that information. Our main product, FleetWave, is a holistic picture of that. That's what represents that central repository. We bring together information about parts, maintenance, fuel, telematics, the whole piece, and that's from a multitude of different suppliers.
So another thing in the news that seems to keep on getting bigger, the semiconductor chip shortage. So supply chain management, again, is one of the biggest issues in fleet today. How can fleet managers use data when it comes to the supply chain and really trying to ameliorate some of the problems?
Sure. So look, it's an unprecedented time globally. We talk to our customers across the globe, and we've never been more aligned in the conversations. The challenges are shared, particularly around issues like this one, which we suspect, and listening to the manufacturers yesterday, in fact, they expect it to go long into 2022. So we talk about solutions and collaborate with our network of customers around the globe, and we encourage management of assets and management of information that's within their control, because it's hard to manage things that are outside of that for obvious reasons. So look at your own fleet, look at your own drivers. How efficient is the operation and your processes today? Are there opportunities to do things better? When we talk about getting around or asset management, it can be ride sharing as an opportunity or vehicle pooling as a solution. Have a plan B as well. Look at the opportunities in the market for things like short-term leases or rental solutions in the interim whilst waiting for vehicle supply to be returning back to normal. There's a lot of mobility solutions and mobility solution providers entering the market. So review those alongside that. And prioritize your replacement strategy. Get better, as I said, more efficient with your current operation. And that's where data really helps. Look at your vehicles. Can you manage those vehicles better? Can you extend the life? of those assets. So look at things like preventative maintenance. Stop and prevent things and issues going wrong by managing and looking at trends in the data right down to granular part levels. So I guess the role of the maintenance operation and the fleet manager is key in all of this in order to be successful with alternative strategies while waiting for supply to return.
Sure. I mean, you touched on vehicle maintenance. I mean, that's going to certainly take center stage in this supply crunch. How should technicians adjust their mindsets or processes when it comes to these parts shortages? I mean, what's the right mindset for preventive maintenance moving forward?
Sure. I mean, let's start with understanding what the information is telling us. I mean, we talk to our customers and we ask the question, do you understand the cost associated with a vehicle being off the road? And quite often the answer, the true cost, is not understood. So we help to try and bring all that information together. It's quite alarming how much cost is associated with a vehicle being off the road. So it's so important, a message that preventative maintenance can help. So it's all about, so there's a number of things. There's parts management and workshop management in here. We have a product called Workshop Hub that is designed for the technician in mind, but connects to the central repository of FleetWave. And that's all about making efficient analysis of the parts availability, not just in your own workshop, but in the third-party vendor list that you might operate as well. So it's having notifications automated from the platform that prioritize what parts needed and when it's needed, and replenishing that stock, as efficiently as possible. So managing that data has never been as important as it is today, really.
Yeah, really, really good points. All right, well, let's talk about something too that is happening now and in the near future, and that's fleet electrification. For fleets just starting on this path, what are some key action items that they need to keep in mind when they're forming their EV blueprint?
Yeah, of course. Well, look, it's so important to have an EV blueprint. It's the right time. It's never been more so the right time to plan for this. A lot of our customers talk about the challenges, and we talk about the opportunity. You've got to get prepared, get ahead of this, because it is coming to your fleet. So, look, do you have the infrastructure plan ready? Do you know where your vehicles need to be and the likelihood of charge requirements and when? Do you know the range that your vehicles on average are taking daily? Can you facilitate that with an alternative vehicle if you're running a combustion engine, for example? What carrying capacity do you require? Because that has an impact on the weight of the vehicle, which in turn has an impact on the battery. So it's all these questions that are in your control to plan for today. There's a lot of pressures on fleet managers today to shift to a more sustainable model. And sometimes it's a brand pressure, get brand recognition, the fact that we are thinking green, but do it for the right reasons and let the data and information guide you on a solid, sustainable strategy.
Yeah, great. Well, I mean, so what would you say that the major challenges for fleets to electrify right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. There are so many challenges, and we're seeing quite a number of those. And it's all about being prepared and gathering that information so that you can be in control of it. Some of the major challenges that we see is about the great unknown. There's a great amount of information that is not readily available, particularly when it comes to commercial electric vehicles. We've been exposed to quite a number of car EVs and have gathered a bit of information and data that sees out over a number of years, but it's challenging across a diverse range of vehicle types. So managing total cost of ownership, as an example, in the traditional sense, is different when it comes to EVs. So it's gathering different information and using it in different ways. Even things like the expectation on life of the asset. Can it last for the same sort of duration? Is the health of the battery going to suffer? are the range and ability to maintain the vehicles the same in the latter years of the vehicle's life? So there's lots of information around that's being requested from our customers before they can make that leap to transitioning their vehicles.
Well, that's great. Thank you for the conversation, Will, and the great information.
Thank you, Chris. Pleasure.